Boom Chanka! It's time now for the Pig and the Hen.
Pig and the Hen Show. Pig and the Hen Show.
It's time now for the Pig and the Hen Show.
Pig and the Hen Show. Pig and the Hen Show.
It's time now for the Pig and the Hen.
Pig and the Hen Show. Pig and the Hen Show.
It's time now for the Pig and the Hen Show.
Pig and the Hen Show.
Oh yeah. Boom Chanka, how's it going everyone? It's the Flying Pig here on the Pig and the Hen Show podcast, where we talk about football, joined by Henry Hotspur. How's it going, Henry? All good?
All good. All good in the house. Good evening. Good afternoon. And second that, welcome to the Pig and the Hen Show.
Hopefully you guys can hear us coming through okay today, because we were just tinkering around with some things, hopefully getting it set up for a bit of a call-in later on, so we'll give you the details a bit later to call into the show. Hopefully it will work. Chances are we'll have a bloody nightmare.
You're not building this up. You're not building this up much, Pig. This is a very, very special episode of the Pig and the Hen Show. We have been talking about this for weeks, if not months, not quite years, because Pig and the Hen Show hasn't been going on that long, but this is something that we have been talking about, and this is the guinea pig episode. It will be happening. We'll be trying it. It could mess up. It might not. Either way, it's going to be entertaining. Stick around.
Nice one, Hen. Yeah, thank you to everybody who's joining us right now. I can see there's a bunch of you in the chat here. I want to give a shout out to a few of you. The first people in here, we're talking Alex Rincon, Jack Swan, Adam Crooks, Dark Halls, AK, all you guys. Alex Rincon comments and just simply says, Colchester!
Honestly, Alex Rincon, I used to have so much respect for you. And I'm not saying I don't anymore, but slowly, do you know what I mean? You're starting to annoy me, pal. You are. He's jumping on the head recently. You need to get the Rincon back on the show, mate, because it could be fireworks between me and him.
Absolutely. We'll call in later, Rincon.
Rincon now is my nemesis, I'm telling you.
Well, look, he's a Rinconator, mate, sent back from the future to cause misery for Henry Hotspur. And hopefully that will happen later on. So please do call in later, Rincon, when we get round to that segment of the show. But we might as well address the elephant in the room, which is, of course, Tottenham Hotspur losing to Colchester last night.
Wow.
It's not
like you haven't been losing, is it?
Bottle jobs galore. The North London Bottling Company is back in full flow, back in mass production, entering a home near you anytime soon.
I love the way that this is a United channel. You know, the majority of people listening to the Pig and the Hen Show, and fair play to you people that are not Manchester United fans out there, that just listen along because they love the football, they love the Pig and the Hen Show. But for sure, most of you out there will be United fans, and then the Pig introduces this segment with "Let's bash on Tottenham Hotspur." Do you enjoy that?
It's hard not to, mate, after that result, though.
It's disgusting. I was almost thinking I might just bail out of the Pig and the Hen tonight because of this.
It wouldn't surprise me, Henry. I'm sort of surprised you showed your face today after that result.
Are you really?
The result of the weekend as well. There was some debate on social media whether you'd actually turn up today, mate. So fair play to you.
Oh, what? Have people actually talked about me, have they? Well, you know, that's nice. It's nice people talk about you. No, but honestly, I am desperately disappointed, actually. I am, you know, I can
Henry,
come out
2
with
secs,
all
mate.
their
2 secs, mate.
Let me talk. Let me speak.
No, wait. The oven's just gone, mate. I've heard an oven goes a ping. I think that humble pie's ready for you, pal.
Oh, shut your mouth. You know, actually, open your mouth and eat it. You love pie. Anyway, let me get back to what I was saying. So, the obvious things that I might usually come out with on a day like today would be, we didn't play our first team. It could happen to any team. It's a Mickey Mouse tournament. Pochettino's not taking it seriously, etc., etc., etc. And even though all of those statements do have a semblance of truth, There is no excuse. It's Colchester. Do you know the best thing I can say about Colchester?
Go on.
The best thing I can say about them, regardless of nothing to do with the football or the result, is that is the oldest town in English history.
Is it?
Well, apparently that's what I read, and if that's true, the only reason I know that is because they beat Tottenham Hotspur in the bloody Carabao Cup, didn't they? You know what I mean? So they're getting their town history onto mainstream media because my team made melt jobs of themselves.
There you go, mate. I mean, you just said it. I mean, they're the oldest town in the country, mate. So you can't expect minnows like Spurs to get a result against them anyway.
Okay, well, maybe not. I mean, look, we started with obviously our backup team essentially. And, you know, I've been going on about strength and depth. You know, started with the likes of Wanyama. Even Dele Alli didn't start. He came on, I believe. Ericsson came on. Lucas Moura came on. So we tried to change it up during the game, realising that actually Colchester are looking pretty tight-knit here. Even though we had several chances, we weren't putting them away. Colchester fought with balls, and they ended up winning the game. It come to penalties, and it meant more to them than it did to us. I guess we had more to lose. I mean, you know, imagine you're taking a penalty and you play for one of the top teams, Champions League finalists of the previous year, and you're up against Colchester United. In a way, taking penalties once you've had a hard-fought game, it's going to play on your mind. You're going to be thinking, wow, you know, what an embarrassment this is that it's got to this stage, and if I miss, I'm going to look even more of a mug. And that's what's happened here. You know, the classic mistake. I'm not just making excuses. I am seriously pissed off with this result. But what's happened here is we've gone in with a team of people that believe that they are better than the opposing side because they're better players. The trouble is, they're Colchester players. They train, they play with each other week in, week out. They've got that team ethic. They understand each other. When you just pit in Wanyama with the rest of a team that hasn't played together for who knows how long, quite often it just doesn't work. I'm not making excuses, but that's just the truth of it. Pochettino is to blame that he is just dismissed this competition. Is that a good thing for us? Maybe, but I know a lot of people out there would say, well, it's not a good thing to dismiss because Tottenham don't win trophies. We haven't been winning trophies. I'll be the first to stand here and admit that we need to start winning trophies, and we just thrown one away, whether that's the manager's fault or the players' fault for being naive. I don't think it's the players' fault. I think you just try to put together a side that don't know each other, that are expected to beat a stubborn Colchester side on the night, which were actually, believe it or not, Colchester were the most lowly rated team in the whole competition. Did you know that?
Well, I'd imagine they are, mate, because they're a League Two team. And
yeah, well, maybe not anymore. Maybe not anymore. Maybe I should start being a Colchester fan. You know, did you know yesterday the pig sent me an image of a player in a Spurs shirt, but he didn't even have a head. His head was replaced by a bottle cap. Okay? And I was disgusted by that image. It made me feel sick. It did. You know, should I just go and start supporting Colchester? I bet they do good bottled water as well, but the winning kind.
Oh, fantastic, Henry! I'll give you my thoughts on it in a moment. It's great to know the anguish that you're going, you know, getting involved with at the moment, mate. Fantastic. A couple of people mentioning an echo in here. Is that gone now? I turned the output down on Henry's mic. Hopefully it's gone. I was trying to do something different so we had a backup if the calls didn't work later, so he could maybe hear me through the microphone and hear you guys, but it's probably a bad idea. So Archie says no echo. That's brilliant. Fantastic. Yes, Henry. So, look, mate, I mean, it happens. These things happen. I remember when a few years ago, who was the manager? Was it Louis van Gaal? I can't remember now, but we went to Milton Keynes in the Cup and we lost 4-0. Like, it does happen. I mean, Colchester, League Two side, like you say, the rank outsiders in the tournament, though. I mean, it's an absolutely piss poor result, but worse than that, it's a piss poor result on the back of a piss poor result against Leicester, losing 2-1, obviously a negative result. Leicester are a much better team than Colchester, though, but still, I mean, that's got to hurt, Henry.
So sorry. I mean, I've literally just bent over backwards for you talking about the Colchester result, and now I was hoping that we might move on to something new. Maybe we might start talking about Manchester
Not
United.
on your Nelly, lad.
Hence it's you with this is the Flying Pig United YouTube channel. But no. Now we need to start talking about how Spurs lost to Leicester the other day. Is this how you get off? Is this what it's about?
To be fair, Henry, I didn't really want to go down this route, but it's just recently you have been flapping the old gums, giving it the old big un about Spurs and how great they are and runners up in the Champions League and we're definitely going to get Champions League again this season and United are shite and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out and he's out of his depth and all this. Well, it's actually Mauricio Pochettino who seems a bit out of his depth at the moment, mate.
It's not, though.
Because he doesn't have the... He's got all the squad there. He's got the depth, mate. It's his issues that he's not getting the team performing. It's true. Like he's actually got the players there. He can't use the excuse that Ole Gunnar can.
Shut your pig mouth. Shut it. So it's not like United have just beat West Ham 5-6-7-0. I mean, maybe then it would be time.
You've got a point.
To get your penis out and try to piss through the Skype call here on my face. But that's not going to happen. I'm not going to allow that to happen because you were shocking. You were absolutely abysmal. Okay, us against Leicester, we scored the first goal. We're away to Leicester. I'll have you know it. They won the Premier League a few seasons ago. They've got a top manager that's actually got experience in the Premier League with a top club, having finished in the top 4 with ease. Could have actually, were talked about as potential title challengers of that season, right up to the end of that particular season under Brendan Rodgers. Okay, Leicester City, they're currently sitting in the top 4 of the Premier League. I know it's early days, but they haven't had a bad start. Yes, you could turn around and say that United beat them. That was at Old Trafford and got a penalty. Okay, but it was still a tight game. It was a tight game. We lost to them 2-1. So there's no need to start doing cartwheels and somersaults about that result.
Fair play. I mean, it could have gone a different way. I mean, there was that offside call in that game as well, I think, where it literally just was like a gnat's freaking ball bag, innit, mate? And it looked like it was pretty much onside, and that would have given you the lead early on, and you didn't get it. So, that was a bit unlucky, I think.
Not gonna complain about that. End of the day, we've had more than our fair share of decisions go our way, VAR, etc. So it is what it is.
That's true. But look, I mean, I can't say much because United did lose to West Ham 2-0. We got dominated the whole game.
Shockingly. Let's talk about that. Yes.
The performance was awful.
You talk. You open mouth and talk and let me enjoy. Go.
The performance was awful. Second best in every department to the Hammers. Shocking day out. The team selection a bit poor from Ollie. The tactics totally wrong, ineffective, lacking creativity. And just got it completely wrong that day. What can I say, mate? That's how it went. But, the fact is, United are having a calamity this season, and we're still on the same points as Spurs. So
we are. Every result is the same. When are we going to have a different bloody result? It's literally, we both lose, we both draw, we both win. Weekend upon weekend. Look it up. That's how it's
crazy,
been.
mate. It's so annoying.
Weird,
like, literally, I was
crazy.
just ready just to gloat. Like, I'm gloating a little bit now just because Spurs lost to Colchester yesterday. We've still got Rochdale later. Who knows what's going to happen in that? But obviously, with United losing to West Ham on Sunday, it definitely took the gleam off of this for me, mate. Somebody shat in my strawberries when we didn't beat West Ham, and I would be giving it you the royal biggin at the moment, but I can't too much because obviously United bottled it as well. But Colchester, mate, that's all I need to say. That is shocking. Mauricio Pochettino, let's just get back onto Pochettino for a second here. Is he failing Tottenham? I think it's fair to say that he might be, mate.
Shut up.
No, what has he won? Hasn't won a trophy with them. Champions League final, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
In terms of actually performing with the squad that he's got, he's having a mare this season, mate. Come on, stop defending him, mate. Get on the old Poch out bandwagon.
No way. Not for a long time. Not unless we finished 8th. Okay? I'll get back to that, mate. Basically, 8th is not good enough for a top 4 expectant side. Okay? If Poch finished 8th with Spurs and we had a terrible Champions League campaign and we were nowhere near any national trophies, then I would be saying we need to be considering Poch's position, genuinely. But I think I'd actually still give, even in that situation, I'd still give Poch more of a chance than I would Solskjaer, because Poch has done
Poch has got the squad there, though,
for Spurs, whereas Solskjaer's done nothing.
Nah, but Poch has got the squad there.
Let's not
if we had some of the players, if we had Harry Kane and we had Christian Eriksen and we had your squad, I think Ole Gunnar would be doing better. The fact is, he's not got the best players at his disposal, whereas Pochettino pretty much does.
You base that reasoning on what? What, just because if he had those players, he would be doing better?
Well, yeah, you would do better with better players, wouldn't
as a manager.
That just stands to reason.
You'd imagine so, but
unless you're Colchester Town or you're Tottenham Hotspur,
anyway. There's no evidence to show that Solskjaer's ever done any better with any better player.
Well, he's not had very long time in management, to be fair, Solskjaer. So you can't really
let's
treat
give him more time.
His career as
give him more time,
as any sort
and
of
it
a track
gives me
record.
more
This
time
is his
to
first
take the
big
piss.
job. Pochettino, on the other hand, has been at Spurs for years. He's got the players there. He's got one of the best strikers in the world, Harry Kane. He's got a great squad, mate. Fair enough. Look, it probably is just a blip for him and Spurs because he has shown he's a good manager over the years, and Spurs do have a great squad. That's what's so shocking about the last couple of results, mate. It's particularly the...
It hasn't been great. We drew with Olympiacos as well. So, that's our Champions League. We're fighting on lots of fronts. I'm happy with it. I'm actually happy we're out of the Carabao Cup. I mean, this is a good question. Let's put that out to the listeners tonight. Is it completely sick and wrong for me to actually find some form of happiness to be out of the English League Cup? Is it wrong that I think like that as a fan? What's your thoughts on that?
So what you're saying is you don't really care about. You think it's just a distraction, basically, yeah?
At the moment, yes. When we've reached the Champions League final last season, when we're in the top four season upon season, for me that is the be all and end all. We need to be continuously right up there, challenging for the top trophies. Whether we win a trophy or not, I'm not saying that I don't want to win silverware. What I'm saying is I want Tottenham Hotspur to continue to be in the limelight, to continue to be one of the top teams that's attracting the top players, that's got one of the best managers in the world, that is challenging for the top trophies. Because one day, if you're in it to win it and you're there, one day the top trophy's gonna take a dump on your table right in front of you, and you're gonna be loving it. That's what you want.
Fair play, mate. I mean, look, man, I think it's one of those competitions. It's kind of an annoying distraction until you get through the last stage, and then obviously you do want to win it because it is a bit of silverware. Didn't when Harry Redknapp was your manager, did Spurs win the FA Cup or the League Cup?
Harry Redknapp did not win the FA Cup or the League Cup with Tottenham Hotspur.
Did he? Oh,
he didn't win anything with Tottenham.
That was with Pompey, right?
He won the FA Cup with Portsmouth. Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Fair enough.
We won. The last time we won a trophy was the League Cup.
Right. Okay. That's what I'm thinking of then. Yeah. I thought it was when Harry was manager.
And it was under One-Day Ramos.
One-Day Ramos. You used to love it.
Just to prove that I am a true Spurs fan. Okay. No. If anyone was wondering, I know stuff.
But listen,
like
the reason I brought that up anyway is because I remember when that happened and you won the League Cup. And you were absolutely over the moon about it, mate. And now you don't give a shit about it because you got beaten by Colchester.
But the difference is, the cat's back. The cat's back. Yeah, fuck off, cat. Yeah, sorry.
Mate, you're always picking on this cat, mate. He hasn't done nothing to you. Blame Pochettino.
He probably likes me. But he's gone now. Come back, cat. Anyway. What was I saying? Like back in the day, back then, under One-Day Ramos, we were a mid-table side. Something like the League Cup, that's, back in those days, I think it was, the Carling Cup then? Yeah, that's it. We won the Carling Cup at the time. Those were the sponsors. And that meant everything because I accepted the sort of team we were with our Robbie Keane and Dimitar Berbatov and et cetera, et cetera. I believe those are the players that we had in and amongst the team. I think the winning goal, no, that's a little bit later, I think. The winning goal was scored by Jonathan Woodgate in extra time against Chelsea, of course, and that was the decisive goal, if I remember correctly. Okay, Jonathan, I'll go back. A lot of the Pick of the Head listeners
got a really good memory, mate. I don't remember games that happened last week.
But Jonathan, but this is the only recent trophy that my team has won. So
he's watched it back 100 times.
Stuff like that. Well, there we go. Jonathan Woodgate, if he hadn't had so many injuries, what a brilliant English centre half, and he never really featured for England much because we had the likes of Rio Ferdinand, John Terry,
he was always
and
a
stuff.
sick note, wasn't he? He was literally the sick note. He was injured all the
But
time.
we had.
He was like Ledley King.
We had the sickest centre backs. Ledley King and Woodgate. They were the sick notes. But in some respects, if they were always fit, they might have been better.
Mate, they
might have been actually better. They were that good.
Mate, I tell you what, Ledley King, both of them actually, yeah. I mean, it's a shame, especially with Ledley, that he just couldn't continue his career, didn't get the game time as well. But any time that he came in and played, he was quality, man. Well, most of the time anyway. He was one of those players that he was rarely fit, but when he was fit, he was first name on the team sheet for you, basically.
Exactly. Look at the names alone. King. King is always a good name. He's the king at the back, and then you got Woodgate. I wouldn't want to come across any gate, let alone a Woodgate.
No, true. A gate keeps people out, mate. That's I never thought of it like that.
That's it. Exactly that. Southgate, mate.
Maybe we should. That's what United needs to do. Just sign players based on their names now, mate. We need somebody we need a Keno in there. Do you know what I mean? Somebody who's keen and up for the challenge.
Exactly. No, names are important. They are. I do believe that.
Yeah, fair enough. Pavlyuchenko. What does that mean?
It's kind of sounds good when it's working.
It is actually an awesome commentary.
It's almost too many syllables that, sometimes it doesn't work, and then it's just not good.
Anyway, his first name was Roman, wasn't it? So it's like he was a Roman soldier, man.
Exactly. Turtle formation, etc.
Hey, I just want to say shout out to everybody who's tuning in, watching live right now. I've got about 70 legends in here, so thank you for stopping by on the live stream. Do us a favour if you are in here.
70 legends.
Please give a like on this video and also give it a share if you can on social media. That'd be absolutely heroic of you.
That's more than usual. 70. I think we're, slowly but surely the show is getting more popular. I hope so. I hope people are enjoying this.
Hopefully, if you guys do enjoy it, give it a share. It'll help us out a little bit. But yes, I just wanted to highlight that anyway, Henry, because obviously you were just bashing the Carabao Cup, saying that it's just an unwanted distraction. And obviously, when you did win it with Wande Ramos, you were creaming yourself in the pants, mate. So I just. But
we're a different club right now. That's what I was trying to say. It's a different. We're living in different times.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Then that's like the best thing you could hope for was a cup run. Now you are trying to challenge. I say now because obviously you started the season absolutely gashtastically, mate. So
we have, considering we're doing the same as you. It's awful, isn't it? It's, in that respect, it's probably more awful for us than it is United. I mean, yes and no. I don't know. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one to say. I don't want to knee-jerk react.
Well, like you say, you have had the tougher fixtures out. I mean, Leicester are looking good this season, and of course you had City at the start of the season, so you have had some tougher fixtures. But United, in the same token, we don't have the same situation as Spurs. They're just in a better place right now with the squad and the owners and all that. So we're contending with those issues, not having the players in there. So I don't blame Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for the problems going on at United as much as a lot of people do. I know it comes from the top down. I know that he's barely had 6-7 months in the job. He's not a magic man. He can't come overnight and just turn water into wine or turn gash into good. He can't do that. He needs to have a bit of time, have a bit of investment.
You need to sign Gabriel Jesus if you want that.
That's it. We need to try and get him over from City. Do you know what I mean? He can.
That's it, mate. Right, I'm going to ask you a question. Okay, we're not gonna start a conflict again. I'm just going to leave it at my question and your answer, and we're just going to leave it there because I think even though it was a great pick of the head show last time out, we don't want to turn it into that again, okay? But my question is, after a week's, mind composure for yourself, thinking about it, if you do finish 8th, okay, and you look okay, but not great, and you haven't won anything, you're 100% behind Ole Gunnar.
Really?
In that situation.
Really? We're really bringing this one up again?
I just want an answer, that's it.
Right, well, it'd have to be a long-winded answer again, mate. And it'll be the same answer that I gave you last time.
I just want a yes or no.
I can't give you a yes or no answer, mate.
Why not?
Because it's got so many variables in it. Look, if he's given investment in the January transfer window and brings a few players in and they don't do well, or he keeps playing the same guff that we've got at the club and we don't do well, then, it's the position is less important than the actual progression of the side. That's that point I was making. So, I mean, if you just want a yes or no answer, I think he should keep his job. But obviously, there's the asterisk on how the team's doing. Is he giving youth a chance? Are we progressing? Are we improving? Has he made decent signings? Have they done well? Have the owners given him the investment to even do that? There's so many varying factors. But look, 8th is an abomination for a club like Manchester United at any time. But the fact is, he's got a tough task. The previous managers have shown what a big job it is because they've got so much experience in the game and they couldn't make it work. So he needs time. We've got to get out of this mentality of always not doing it overnight. Let's chop and change. Fair enough if the Glazers had given him 400 million and he spent 400 million and bought a whole new squad and they're doing absolutely gash-tastic, then fair enough, it's his fault. He's got the players in that he wanted and they've not worked and his tactics are not working. But he's still dealing with the mess of the previous managers. He's still dealing with the Glazers not investing fully. Do you think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is happy with the fact we don't have a recognised striker fit at the moment? I mean, Greenwood's hopefully back for the game tonight, but he was out.
So what's happened to Rashford? I mean, just before I move on to that, what you're saying is as long as Ole Gunnar is showing that he's doing everything that you expect of him as a manager, it looks like things are progressing. Even though you finished 8th, it still somehow looks like the next season's going to be better, is what you're saying, then he should stay.
Yes, I mean, managers need time, don't they? I mean, you can tell if a manager's got the managerial chops to lead your team, and we'll know that by the end of the season, probably, based on how he picks the side, how the team is playing tactically, and how everyone's progressing and all that sort of stuff. He will obviously have to earn his place at the club, but he should deserve the time to get it. If you look at Guardiola at City, he came in, he's had so much investment. They weren't successful overnight. You look at Klopp at Liverpool, now they're a really well-oiled machine a few years after he's come in. But at the start, I can't remember where they finished first. Was it 5th? Was it 4th? I don't know. But
it wasn't as low down as 8th.
Well, okay, it wasn't. It wasn't, but you could argue that at the time they actually had a better squad. With players.
Did they? Wow. So you're admitting that Liverpool's early squad is better than United's current?
Right now, our squad is as bad as I've seen a top 4 team squad in a number of years.
Wow,
it is. I mean, we've got a skeleton squad. Look at the midfield.
Words for the pig.
If your best 2 players in the centre of the park, or the players that are getting played quite often are Matic and McTominay, you've got some issues. Not to mention the fact that we don't have the depth up top there. Rashford got injured in the other game, in the game at the weekend. So now we've got a 17-year-old who's barely played to come in there. Hopefully he can do the business and do it for us. But that's a big ask.
I want to talk about that shortly. I just quickly ask, because I asked you, if Spurs finish 8th, if Poch finishes 8th, does he keep his job in your opinion?
Pochettino?
Yes.
Absolutely not. He should get sacked. You can't go from Champions League final to finishing comfortably in the top 4, having one of the best squads in the league, having one of the best younger squads that should only be getting better as well, and then finish 8th. You can't do that. No, he should get sacked absolutely, but it's not the same situation for Ole.
Okay, so
he's been there
what
for
you're
years
saying
as
is
well.
A top manager, you got a great side, blah, 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 you're challenging, and then you have a bad season. Does that mean the manager should just go just like that?
I think so. I think if you're Pochettino and you've had a few years at the club and you've had investment and you've spent a lot in the summer transfer window for Spurs and you've got great players there already, if you can't get them working after being in the Champions League final and being a good team for a few years, something's gone wrong there. So that is a different scenario to Ole Gunnar. What I want to say is I've just seen a comment here from Rincon. Thank you to everybody that is sending in comments throughout this stream. We will read a bunch out as we go along, and obviously we'll have a bit of a Q&A at the end properly as well, and we'll do some phone-ins and that sort of thing if we can, which might be a calamity, so tune in for that because it's going to be a car
looking
crash
forward
later.
to that.
But Rincon comments, Liverpool finished 7th their first season under Klopp, LOL. So I mean, I know it's not 8th but 7th, if that's, I can't actually remember, but Rincon's saying it's 7th. If that's the case, I mean...
It's very different, though. I mean, Liverpool have not won the title ever as far as the Premier League
is concerned. We might as well
not
have, though, Henry. Like, with where we're at right now, we're so far off it, 32 points.
What do you mean you might as well not have?
No, just the club that we have right now. We're not in contention for challenging for the Premier League title.
Don't say things that's going to get my back up and going to roll me. You know what I mean?
No, but this squad right now, we might as well not have. We don't have the winners in that side.
Because we talk... You don't want to have conflict on the show too much. We just want to be nice and friendly. You know, it's better for the stress levels, etc.
I like a bit of conflict,
but then
mate.
you
That's
say things. You say things, and I'm not even a United fan. You say things, and it makes me angry.
You're missing my point. What I'm saying is that the club is so far away from those days right now. We might as well not have, mate, because we're a shadow of the club that we were. So
yeah, but there's no reason that you shouldn't be Liverpool right now.
Yes, there is. You can't just snap your fingers and overnight expect Ole Gunnar to do it without the investment.
Yes, true. But it's, Liverpool were not expected to do what United have done previously. Liverpool finished 7th that season, and even people looked at that thinking, is it working, is it not?
Yeah, but at the time, wasn't Liverpool a bit closer? Like, was it Brendan Rodgers they had before Klopp, right? He finished second one season with them, right? I
think they went to Roy Hodgson first, didn't they?
Oh, was it Roy Hodgson? Crikey, yeah. I've totally forgotten about that. Like managing Liverpool is such a calamity. Oh, those were the days. I miss those days. But no, all I'm saying is Kloppy needed time. Guardiola needed time. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's no different. He may not be a big name, but he's still going to need time to turn United around and have an impact on the window by making signings that he. Are you there, Hen?
I'm here, mate. Right, this is bad because I'm seriously running out of battery, but at the same time, I understand that we are, it's not even anywhere close near to the end of the show. So this is not good.
Oh, Henry Hotspur, you let us down once again.
Well, I'm kind of thinking I might just sort of go home and try to charge my phone and try to stay on the stream, but I could face the wrath of the lady in the home. You see what I mean? This is what I'm having to deal with.
What do you mean you can face the wrath of the lady in the home? What, you're making too much noise when you come in and that,
Well, exactly, You
just got to give him a cheeky backhander, Head, I've told you.
Well, I could just... my other option is...
I'm joking, of course.
I could just go sort of semi-quiet on the show, couldn't I? I could try that. But people want to listen. I expect people want to hear me. But I do actually have to try to do this right now because otherwise the phone is going to go. I didn't realise. I do apologise to viewers out there. I have come wholly unprepared this evening. Have I not?
Hold on, I've just got to play some theme music, mate.
Pig and Hen's melter of the moment.
Remember, I can't hear the music when you play it. Remember.
What's a melter?
Right, I just wanted to play the melter of the moment music and say, Henry, you are officially the melter of the moment. What's going on here? Didn't charge your phone up before the show. You know the show's happening, mate. I've told you, piss poor planning, piss poor performance. It's like Pochettino all over again here, mate. What are you doing?
Well, I don't know, mate. I'm sorry, mate. I didn't realise. I thought, basically, I've got this like charger on my phone. I thought if I press the button, gonna have loads of power there. Just pressed it, and it's wilting on me. Wilting like a beautiful flower that you expect to be beautiful, and then suddenly it's just fucking dead.
Oh no, well, look, anyway, to the viewers, hopefully we can keep this podcast going. If not, I guess it will maybe have to be a short one. So what's your plan now, Henry? Have you got a power bank at home, mate?
Well, no, I'm just literally gonna just put my phone on charge, like close the door on one of my rooms and hope that the lady of the home doesn't throw a paddy.
This could be absolutely a fantastic moment on the Pig and the Hen show, though. So
could it really? Well, I'm about to enter the lift, so I might cut out. So you might have to call me back shortly.
This is a nightmare, mate.
Let's see how we get on. Because I know I'm on 9%. There's
the most annoying thing is when the call ends, my video also ends as well, because that's how I'm doing it. But there you go.
Don't cut me off, even if the connection goes.
All right. It's fine. You just crack on, Henry. Hopefully you'll appear back in a little while. Oh, there he is. But anyway, yeah, guys, so thank you to everybody who's tuning in. I'll take this moment to tune in to the live comments here and see what you guys are thinking about any of the topics we discussed in the show. Rincon, how you doing? Thank you very much for getting in here. Gungshi says, be careful of her indoors, Henry. That's some sort of fireworks on the Pig of the Hen show. We'll see how it goes. It is pretty late over there in Guangzhou, China, where Henry's doing the show. But yeah, Gaz Newton comments, hen's about to get plucked. So we've got an MTV Cribs session on the go here.
Get plucked.
It's a shame we are losing the signal here, because I would love to see what's going on in Henry Hotspur's apartment right now and hear the aftermath.
Hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear right now. So I'm hoping.
You're coming through loud, definitely not clear, mate. So yeah, lads and lasses, apologies for the show. I tried to make this show as smooth as it possibly can be. Sometimes there's just some issues that are beyond the control of the pig. Henry, he needs to start planning a bit better. For a start, he should probably get a phone upgrade now. I know he's hanging on to that iPhone 6S for dear life, but the battery life is just shambolic. He's got some sort of a battery pack on the phone that's equally shambolic. Just get an Android phone, just get a modern Android phone with a big battery, and he'll be absolutely sorted, do you know what I mean? But let's read this comment out from Michael.
This is a bit of a different...
If Ollie did not score the 99 winner, he would not be in charge right now. I'm not so sure about that. I mean, there were so many other games that he scored in. Huge player for us off the bench as well. Just a fantastic player. I mean, yeah, he's got that legendary goal and cemented himself in United history and folklore. That is a big part of that. It is a big part of that, to be fair. Scored the winner in the Champions League final. But I still think he went into the coaching game. He was an ex-Red. It might have happened going to him anyway. But it's quite an interesting point you bring up there. Henry, are you back, mate? Oh, crikey. Andres Rocco comments, Pig, are you doing the match today? I am doing a watch along for the game. Whether or not I'll be able to watch it along is another question, because it's not on UK TV, is it? Absolutely shocking that that's the case, but it's not on UK TV, so I won't be able to.
Right, basically, I am back, okay, but I just need to go and go use the bathroom. Just I've got it on charge. Hopefully, we're going to be okay. My wife is still awake, so it's difficult times. But if we can keep the show going, fair play. But I do, I've been drinking some beers. I do need to use the facilities. So if you'd let me.
Well, you just carry on, mate. I was having a good time just talking without before being
good.
Really interrupted.
I mean, you're used to it, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? You do a channel, so
that's it. I could just talk here for a while
by yourself. Great. Do that.
You just go do your business.
See you very shortly, guys. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Right. At least the connection's fine for when he's back anyway, guys. Right, I'll just take this moment to jump into the live questions here from people in the comments. Thank you to everybody who's sending them in. Gungshi comments, first view of the hen's abode. Yeah, what a view that is as well. Absolutely majestic. AK comments, this is the worst team in the history of the Man United squad. Well, I doubt it's the worst in the history of the whole team, but certainly within the Premier League era, it probably is the worst squad. In the Premier League era, I'm sure it's the worst team I've ever seen. And we're lacking the depth in all departments. I mean, even a few years ago, we had some bigger name players, even if the team wasn't performing. I mean, what we wouldn't do, I'd take Robin Van Persie back right now, and the lad's just retired. That's how much lacking depth we are at the top there. We don't have the players in the midfield. Everyone knows that. Players like Matic and McTominay. McTominay's got a decent future ahead of him, but he's not consistent enough level week in, week out. He can do the business, I don't think. At the moment, he's still learning. He's still plying his trade, basically, whereas Matic has been there, done that, bought the T-shirt, got some Serbian stains on it, and then now it's time to just throw that T-shirt away, Matic. That's what we need to do, but unfortunately for United and for Ollie, he doesn't have many players there, so he keeps choosing him, he keeps playing him in games, which is gashtastic. I mean, I hope Pogba plays in the game tonight, I truly do. Because, and I expect him to set the world alight against Rochdale, to be fair, if Pogba's coming back into it. Call me crazy, but I expect to see that from a player of Paul Pogba's calibre in that midfield. Now, I think maybe he should be playing in behind a striker. But my point is we just don't have the players there. It is a terrible squad. In terms of the depth, it's just not there. Spliff Politics, how you doing? Boomchanker to you. Comments to even contemplate wanting rid of Solskjaer at this point is ridiculous. As United fans, we deserve exactly what we get. We're complicit in this conveyor belt approach, and Ed gets away scot-free. Yes, I mean, it's all about Ed Woodward and the owners, to be fair. Ed needs sacking 100%. He's just not up to the task, not up to the job. He's shown that over the years, can't bring the players in. And Solskjaer, he's not had the time, he's not had the investment. You can't really blame him. He could go on and be the best manager of all time. It's crazy to say that, but he could. We haven't seen enough from him from his managerial career. He's at a similar point in his career. Well, not actually. He's further behind than when Fergie was when he took over at United. But still, the first few years for Fergie were not instant success. Henry Hotspur, you have a good poo, mate?
I didn't have a poo, mate. That would have been a quick poo if I had a poo.
Yeah, well, you know, push one out for the pig and the hen fans, mate.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me if I whisper like that? Is that an acceptable?
It's acceptable,
kind of,
mate. In fact, it's an
voice volume there.
If you could do that from now on, that'd be great.
Okay, sure. Well, I'm actually literally sat in the same room as my lovely lady friend, so you know, it's she's not a Tottenham fan either.
Have you cleared this with her, mate?
It doesn't matter. Well, the show must go on.
Henry Hotspur, mate. I think you need to, I don't know, keep your voice down a little bit there.
It's all good. It's all good. No problem at all.
But anyway, okay, so where were we, Henry, before we had that break in talking about stuff? Because I've completely lost my train of thought now.
Well, let's put it to the fans. What we need is a call-in. What I'm going to try to do, I've got a lightning charger on the go. I'm hoping that it's going to literally, like it says on the tin, lightning charge my phone up.
That's just the name of that type of cable, though,
maybe
mate.
I can.
That doesn't mean like it's a super fast charger. It's just called a lightning cable as opposed to like a micro USB or whatever.
Well, have some faith. Have some faith, okay? And then if I can get some like supercharge on the go, then maybe I could head back outside and continue with the regular pig and the hen show. You know what I'm saying?
Fantastic. Okay. So, yes, what else I want to talk about? Right, United do have Rochdale later. We might as well just touch on that. I know it's not going to be of any interest to you, Henry, but maybe it's good if you're silent for a moment while it charges up and let me speak for a second. United need to play the youth tonight. We need to give some of these younger lads opportunities. Of course, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to do that because it is the Carabao Cup and we are playing Rochdale and it's a great opportunity and a great time to be able to do that. I've heard that there's potentially some of the younger lads that are going to be in the squad tonight, like Williams and Garner might be featuring in the squad as well, which would be absolutely sensational. Alex Rincon comments, get your teams in tonight. Mine, Romero, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Twanzebe, Jones, Rojo, McTominay, Fred, Mata, Lingard, James and Greenwood. I don't agree with that at all, Alex Rincon, but thank you very much for getting in there, pal. I can't have Lingard anywhere near my starting 11. Henry Hotspur is back again. Where did you go then for a moment, my son?
No, I was literally just checking my charge, okay, and I was literally down to the 1%. You know, like the stage where you're thinking, if my phone goes off here, then the show is dead this evening, okay. But I'm already up to 17%. I'll have you know. So you're taking the mick out of the lightning charge. What I'm saying is, I think it works, mate. It is lightning quick, mate. We're looking at 10, 15 minutes, and I'll be back to the best of my ability to broadcast.
Well, that's good, but it's probably only got to 17 because the actual capacity of the battery is like half what it was. So it's like, percentage-wise, it's actually quite a lot of the battery. Do you know what I mean?
He's not going to wake up, he's all right. It doesn't matter, be fine. But I need a bit of air. Sorry, this bit of...
It's all right, mate. You're Yeah, it's charging up anyway. You can go and.
What I'm going to do, I need to close the window despite the fact that it's hot. Okay, I'm going to put a fan on. Could you find a plug socket for that? Thank you.
Listen to yourself as a person that married 12 years.
Hopefully you're not picking that up on the mic.
So you want to say hi to the viewers?
Nobody wants to hear that. Do you want to say hello? No, I don't think she does. I don't think she does. Too good for me. To any viewers out there, I'm telling you right now, way too good for the hen. Right.
See, you just don't get this on other shows. You know what I mean? That's what makes the Pig and the Hen special. It's all about, it's still just real, isn't it?
I hope you're not getting too much wind noise there.
No, it's fine, mate. It's absolutely fine.
Is that all right? That's good. Okay, let's go with that for now.
I love it how you just get progressively smashed throughout these shows, mate. It's great. Anyway, look, guys, we'll get the show back on track now, shall we? We'll give it a go. We've got to beat Rochdale tonight. I just hope that after this ribbon that I've been given to Henry Hotspur, United don't go and bottle it against Rochdale, because strange things have happened. The sad thing is Rochdale will be facing United tonight, and they'll be thinking, do you know what? If there's any time that we can get some sort of a victory over them, it is now. It is at this moment. They're looking vulnerable. They don't have the depth there. There'll probably be a few kids on the pitch. And maybe if their work rate is higher than United's, they'll be thinking, perhaps we can just nick something. And that's crazy to say. There was a time not so long ago when any team in the world coming to play a game against United knew they were in for a ridiculously tough game. Now, Rochdale probably will be, obviously they'll be bang up for this because they're playing United. It's a huge game for them. But at the same time, United are almost there to be had. Look how poor we were against West Ham. And there'll be more experienced, better players perhaps on the pitch in the game against West Ham compared to the Rochdale game tonight. So, they've got a chance of getting some sort of an upset. That's all I'm saying. Sounds crazy as a United supporter to say that, but they'll be thinking, do you know what? Maybe we can just do them. My personal prediction for the game, though, if I'm being honest, I think we'll rip them apart. I'm going for 4-0. I think we need a reaction right now. We're a much better side, even with the young players in there, the quality out there. But look, that FC Astana game, that did show that United, maybe we just really don't have the creativity or the quality to break down lesser teams. Yes, if they're organised and they keep numbers behind the ball, it's difficult for United to get through. That FC Astana game proved that. Who is a better team? Does anybody actually know the quality of the Kazakhstani Premier League? Who's the better team out of Rochdale and FC Astana? Sounds crazy to say that because one was in the Europa League, but they're in the Kazakh League. So let me know what you guys think about that one. We really struggled against Astana. Who's to say we won't struggle against, against Rochdale? Elart Norville, I love that name every single time. Elart or whatever it is. Comments thoughts on Jones controversy, Pig. So I guess you're talking about the camera panning into him in the last game and him saying Ole Gunnar Solskjaer getting sacked in the morning, or when we conceded that second goal, I think it went over to me, he just sort of uttered to himself, sacked in the morning, sacked in the morning, and then of course what Ed Woodward did was turn around and tell him to shut up because we're on camera, basically. That's what Ed Woodward said to him. So it was a bit of an interesting, funny exchange to be caught on camera there. My thoughts on it are as Phil Jones is a bit of a numpty, isn't he? He's gash out there. No wonder he's a bit bitter because he's not getting selected because he's gash. He shouldn't be saying stuff like that when the cameras are on him. Fair play to Ed Woodward for having a go at him, but Ed Woodward was obviously a tit. So it was just funny to see him a little bit flustered. But look, Phil Jones shouldn't be saying stuff like that. If he had said that, and of course it looks like that from the lip reading, but I don't know if you saw my little Twitter clip that I put on there yesterday, but you can pretty much put words in his mouth for it to sound like something else. So the actual fact of it saying, the actual fact of it saying about... Sorry, you've just totally made me lose my train of thought there, Henry Hotspur. Henry's freaking pissed up. That was awesome. Anyway, mate, thanks for that.
Proud, mate. Just proud, mate.
Fair play. Respect to you. Right, Henry, any thoughts on United Rochdale? Do you think they've got a chance?
Hey, I haven't been listening to anything you've been saying, mate. Who gives a two flying F's about that?
Oh, dear. You know what I mean? People loving that view, mate. Gungshi says, nice view of the lady of the house, then.
Yeah, well, do you know what I mean? It's got to be the right. We're talking the hen here. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to settle for nothing less.
Fair place. Spliff Politics says if you watch the video again, you'll see Woodward was actually speaking to a woman next to him, mate. I'm not sure about that. I think he was having a go at Philbo Jones.
I did actually read about this and hear about this. So the apparently the story was that he wasn't happy with something Jones said, but I've seen the picture. It doesn't look like he's looking at Jones.
Well, that's what Spliff Politics has just said. Yeah. I mean, interesting. When that's it, stuff is easily taken out of context, and obviously Henry, or maybe we would like to talk about this in the Henspiracy files or whatever. But obviously, you can take stuff out of context, and if he was speaking to someone else, then the camera's just showing him looking in Phil Jones' direction, basically. Then it does look like he's saying sacked in the morning. It does look like he's giving him a telling off. But if you're telling me that maybe he wasn't looking at him, I mean, I don't really know. But that's not to say that he wasn't speaking to him, even if he wasn't looking at him, because they always do this stuff. I mean, he didn't cover his mouth, but they always do stuff like that deceptively to try and seem like they're not speaking to each other on camera and stuff. So, I don't know. It's a funny one, though. Like, Phil Jones, if he did say getting sacked in the morning, needs to sort himself out, and he should definitely not be anywhere in the first team for that. Sack 2 weeks' wages, buddy. Do you know what I mean?
How many interviews does this Woodward guy do? Do you know what I mean? Like, I've never actually heard him speak, but I don't look into this stuff. But as a United fan, does he actually do interviews?
I mean, I've not really seen any interviews from him, nor do I really want to, mate.
So you don't even know what this guy sounds
not really,
like.
No.
You don't know what this guy comes across
you'd think
like.
I would, but
he doesn't have a media presence whatsoever.
I'm sure you can find interviews with Ed Woodward. I've just never gone and looked for them personally, but you've got me interested now, Henry. Like, what is this prick actually
but
like?
for someone of that position, should he be in the media presence or not?
I think it's not really the part of the chief exec to do that. You obviously do employ others to do that and be faces and ambassadors for the club or whatnot. That's sort of what the manager is there for, is to be the first point of contact for, the media after and before games and all that sort of stuff. But at the same time,
sure,
like, he should be accountable for his actions and what he's been doing at this football club. And like, I saw something the other day about United posting 600 million worth of revenue for the last financial year, which is an insane amount. So in terms of the commercial success of the club, obviously what he's doing in those terms is obviously good for generating money. Now, it's not necessarily good for generating the money that goes back onto the pitch, because we don't really know what's going on with all that money, if it's even servicing the debt, because as far as I know, United are still in hundreds of millions of pounds worth of debt. But, from a footballing point of view, he's not been doing the business for us. He should be held accountable. If I was actually him, I'd probably step down at this point. Who needs all the pressure? Who needs all the, not step down, but appoint somebody else to take that pressure? Like, but we've talked about this before, and I just think if they did do that with the Glazers and Woodward being the yes man for them, that's all that it would be. It would just be a face. It would just be a face of the organisation, and they wouldn't actually have the final say.
From what you know about Woodward, is he doing that job because it's a job and he's making money, or is he doing the job because he genuinely cares about Manchester United, or is it a bit of both? And if it is a bit of both, how much percentage either way? And, surely this is fundamentally important as to how fans view his position.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell you, to be honest. I guess only he would really know that, but I'm sure, as his role dictates, he is trying to get United performing out there on the pitch, but he's just probably not capable of doing it because he's from a banking background. He's not really from a footballing background. I think you need that. I think you need that to be able to broker the best deals and really know the ins and outs of just different aspects of the club, scouting networks and coaches, and just the ability to deal with people and football people in that way. I'm not saying he doesn't have any skills at that, but it doesn't strike me as somebody who's a great football man. That's all I'm saying. And you don't need to be an ex-footballer or whatever to be good at football. I mean, look at Jose Mourinho. He started in football as, I think he was just an interpreter for Bobby Robson over at Barcelona, right? Back in the day. He was just literally a language interpreter, and then somehow got more and more responsibilities at the club, and that was his way into football management. So, you don't have to be an ex-footballer to be a football man, but I just think United right now, we'd benefit from somebody steering the ship who does have the capabilities in that department, whether it's an Edwin van der Sar or another ex-player at United, or not even an ex-player, but just somebody who would maybe fit the bill like that. It would only benefit United right now and in the long term. You still there, Hotters?
I am, yeah. I'm just trying to turn my Wi-Fi on to see if that gives us a better connection. Why not?
I don't think your connection's too bad at the moment, actually, but yes, Alex Rincon comments, Woodward was an investment banker and helped the Glazers overtake United when they hired him on the executive vice chairman when David Gill retired. Yeah, right, yeah, fair enough. So he's come in with them, basically. He's just one of their lads, isn't he? J. Dot comments 600 million profits and not a penny spent on the knackered stadium, never mind the first team. I mean, yeah, the stadium is definitely, due a renovation, it's due an upgrade, there's leaking roofs and all this sorts of stuff, and it's just not up there. If you look at, just look at, obviously their recent builds, I know that, but even like the Emirates, even obviously Spurs' new stadium's fantastic. West Ham have got the Olympic Stadium, which is a state-of-the-art
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, correct.
So, that there's a bit of time gone by since United Stadium was a cutting-edge stadium. That's one factor.
Well, Old Trafford is a great name for it right now because it is old.
Well, there you go.
You know what I mean, it's looking old.
Well, that's what an amazing thing that Alex Ferguson
you need to make a new Trafford, mate.
Alex Ferguson grew that stadium. He built stands at that stadium, and he oversaw all that stuff, and that is what was so fantastic. But now it just goes to show you, if we're posting 600 million revenue, but we're not reinvested in the stadium, we're not really reinvesting in the squad. What are we really investing in then? Media teams, salespeople to try and generate. I don't really know what we're actually investing into the club. It's not obvious. So for the board and the owners to keep the United fans happy, they're going to have to start investing. They can't go out there claiming, we got 600 million, the second most income made by a football club in the world last year, even though United are nowhere near the top clubs right now around world football. We're just not. So it goes to show what a huge
still an impressive placement for you guys. It is. It's ridiculous, actually, when you say it like that.
Yeah. So maybe Woodward's good. Maybe Woodward is doing a good job in terms of financially for the club, and I would expect that because he's from a financial background.
Global identity marketing.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff. It does make sense. But if I was the Glazers anyway, and this won't happen. But for the best interest of the club, I'd put him in a financial advisor role, and then I would get a football director in, to somebody to actually bring in players, somebody to actually oversee transfers, get players gone out the football club as well, wages, all that sort of stuff that Woodward has showed a lack of nous in. Give it to somebody else to have an opportunity, because he's only doing the same old shite.
Well, having lived here in China, I can tell you right now, despite the fact that United are not, in the top four, well, they haven't been, or they were a couple of seasons ago, but they're not winning the league anymore. I still see more Manchester United shirt buyers on the bus or on the train, underground train, etc. More than any other shirt.
Really?
So that tells you something.
That is quite interesting, yeah.
Oh, for sure. Chevrolet, I mean, it stands out, mate. It does.
Are you on the Wi-Fi, are you, Henry?
I am now. Hopefully that makes a better connection, I'm hoping.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, it seems a little bit gasher to me, but there you go.
Or should I turn it off?
I don't know, just leave it for now. You'll be going out soon, won't you? Your lightning cable's probably charging it up super fast, right?
Well, let's have a look. Let me have a look. I'm up to now.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure if that's enough, mate.
It's not that great, but it's okay.
Vince Chapman, how you doing? Comments, did I miss all the Colchester banter? Unfortunately, you did, yes, but now you brought it up, might as well just say what a fantastic result that is for Colchester. Fair play to them, man. I love stories like that. I love underdog stories like that,
Shut up.
Anyway, yes.
Tell me one other underdog story that you love, you mug.
Let's see. I don't know. Spurs going to Colchester and managing to actually get a 0-0 draw and just bravely lose out on penalties, mate. That's a great underdog story.
Awful, mate. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn the Wi-Fi off, because if you reckon it's worse with the Wi-Fi, let's just try it without.
Okay, mate.
This is all teething stuff. We're experimenting with this.
That's it. We've been experimenting for months now, but we're still experimenting.
Wi-Fi is off. Back on the 4G.
Nice one.
And is that better?
Could be. Yeah, great.
You think that's better?
I don't know, mate. It's all gash, to be honest with you. It's better outside, but we'll just have to do with what we could do, to be fair.
I know, it is better outside. It is.
Well, it kind of makes sense, though, because of all the concrete and all that stuff, right? I don't know. Your Wi-Fi should be working good, though.
Exactly that.
Right, so was there anything you wanted to discuss, Henry, before we get into the next segment of the show? And we will go into the melter of the moment and do that very quickly. I know I just did it earlier and said you were it, but that was just because you were melting at the time. I do want to talk about my actual melter of the moment. So do you want to do that now?
Let's do that.
Okay, let's play the theme tune.
Pig and Hen's melter of the moment. The pig and the hen's melter of the moment. What's a melter?
Yeah, could you hear that, could you?
No, of course I can't. I'm pretending.
Good acting there, mate. Love it.
I'm better.
So, Henry, who is your
pig,
melter of the moment? It's time for our weekly melter of the moment. Who is yours?
My melter of the moment is me.
Oh, Henry Hotspur, thank you for...
I have to say it. I have to be honest, mate.
Thank you for being so honest. And why is that?
Literally at that moment where you asked me, the door to this spare bedroom just opened, and the wife says, can you try to be quiet, please? And I thought, well, who else is more of a melter in this moment than me? So it's got to be me, isn't it? I knew I had to pick up the head show tonight. I've had an absolute mare. Still trying to keep the show going, but it's been an absolute melt. So that's my answer for you.
Oh, wonderful, mate. That was hilarious. Yes, well, it's actually gone. The quality's fantastic at the moment. Thank you very much for staying on here, Henry. I know it's a bit of an issue. Battery wise and that. We'll just try and plan ahead a bit more next week, eh?
I'm so sorry.
That's all right, mate. We can just speed through this. So there's not that much to talk about anyway, other than Spurs being complete bottle jobs.
We got lots to do, haven't we? We got the phone-ins. We've got the hen spirit.
Yeah, we need to do all that stuff. I mean, maybe we should just try and blaze through them now, mate. Or basically, when you're ready, when your phone's charged up enough to last like half an hour, then we'll do it, because then the connection's going to be a lot better and stuff outside, I think.
Exactly, and then I can talk loudly, because when I speak quietly, I lose all my gusto. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, this is hilarious, mate. This is literally like you're just trying to do a stealth job at the moment.
I've been fucking muzzled.
This is like freaking Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell or something. Yeah. Oh, brilliant. All right, we've got a super chat here from Gungshi. Thank you Gungshi, for getting in here. He comments, donation for the hen melter fund. Says it already, Gungshi, doesn't it? Oh God. Mate. Just go outside, hen. Go outside and we'll wrap this puppy up.
What, like now?
What's that?
Okay. Right. Oh, okay. Just let me. Okay. Just give me 1 minute, yeah?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, mate. Keeps moving his phone around as well, and it's messing up my template on the screen, which is why I'm having to constantly resize it. So that's also annoying. Oh, God. Right, guys. Yeah, so honestly, thanks to everyone who's tuned in this Pig in the Head. Unfortunately, it's not as fluid as we were hoping for, but it's all we can really do for. Thank you, Gungshi, for that super chat. We need to do something for the Hen Melter Fund, don't we? Like, just improve the lighting, improve the Wi-Fi, improve everything really. That's the thing. Like, it's difficult because Henry's over in Guangzhou, China. At the time when we can do this show, it's very late in his household, and he's got kids and a family and stuff there. And obviously, it's an apartment, so he can't make too much noise. Otherwise, he'd just do this show from his apartment, but he can't really do that. So that's just how it is. The Saint comments, right, let's crack on for F's sake. That's what I mean. We're trying to crack on the rest of the show here. We do it for the best. Griffo Chaz comments, this is one for the archives. Good to see you in here, Griffo. Derek Jason comments, when was the year this crappy Glazer spoke to the media about our club? Do they really care? The answer to that is no, they don't really care, really. If they did, then they'd have spent more money, given Ole Gunnar a bit more of an easier task. So I don't think they really give a shit, to be honest with you. What we'll do on the show today is try and do some call-ins, right, in a moment. And of course, we'll just do the little Henspiracy hour or whatever the hell it's called. The football chat probably going to have to come to an end. It's going to have to be a shorter show today, guys. So not a 2-hour, extravaganza like usual. It'll have to be a little bit shorter. EK comments, do you guys use Patreon? I do have a Patreon page. I am going to start putting more stuff on there. I'm going to put all the audio podcasts on there for the Pig and the Hen show and a bunch of other content. You can click the link in the description, actually, and go and support the channel via Patreon. It'd be much appreciated. I don't talk about it much on this channel, but I probably should. Because, that sort of stuff, if you want to support, it would help the channel obviously grow. Things like technology-wise, all that sort of stuff would probably be improved in the future. So thank you, EK, for bringing that up. Yes, you can go and support the channel on Patreon, and I will be putting more content out there, once I've got a few followers. So thank you very much to everybody who does do that already. I know there's a few of you. Henry, what's the haps? I thought he was there just for a moment. I could be wrong. Anyway, thank you very much, Rincon, for the link there. There's the link in the chat if you want to check it out. I haven't updated it for years. I'm sorry. It's just completely irrelevant, and you're probably looking at it going, I'm not going to get any benefit out of doing this shite. So that's the way it is, but I will continue to put stuff on there anyway. Quite an interesting Pig and the Hen show, though. Just like a covert operation on the go here for Henry. Getting in and out, sneaking in, sneaking out, charging his phone up. It's all a bit of an operation for the lad, isn't it? Derek says, boom, Hen has gone to the washroom. Funny as. Are you right, Hen? No, he's not there. He's not there. But we'll get on to the Henspiracy hour when Henry's back on the phone. And we'll also... what is he doing, man? Okay. And we'll also get on to... oh, he's in the elevator. I thought he was just checking himself out in the mirror or something, the ponce. But we'll get on to the Henspiracy hour, and we'll also get bang on to try and take in some phone calls anyway for the last bit of the show until Henry's phone goes or whatnot. But, of course, I am going to do the watch-along for the Rochdale game later, so make sure you do stick around for that if you're interested in finding out what's going on. Worst case scenario, it's not really going to be a watch-along, it's going to be a listen-along, because it's not on TV. Rincon, I replied to your message earlier, by the way, mate, on YouTube chat here, and when you were talking about, am I doing a watch-along, and I said, potentially, if I can find a stream for it. Is it on over in America? What channel is everyone watching the Rochdale game on there? Because again, United are just not prime time anymore, unfortunately. Our games, they used to be an occasion. Whoever we were playing, they were always televised. But not now. Don't get it. I mean, well, I know we're already playing Rochdale. You'd think it'd be on a UK TV channel. Rincon comments, it's on ESPN+. Nice. That's good. BN12. Cool. Well, I'll try and watch it. It'll probably have to be a dodgy stream again, but I'll try and watch it then. That's great. I'll give it a go later. Sorry, Han?
Hello.
Hello, mate. You're back.
I'm back, mate. I'm back. Right. I just want to apologise. I'm so sorry. This Pig and the Head show has not been your regular show, and I'm sorry.
That's all right, Henry. Don't you beat yourself up about it, mate. All right. I understand you've had a stressful week. Spurs, they've been letting you down left, right, and centre. I understand, Henry. It's too much to expect you to keep your phone fully charged before the Pig and the Hen, mate. I get it,
Well, there we go. Why do you sound like you're coming through the dark ages?
What do you mean?
Can't hear you, son.
Oh.
Barely hear you.
Can you? Are you serious? I don't know, mate.
Maybe
really you just turn your volume down.
Shite.
Everybody else, am I coming through okay? Let me know. What we do need, Henry, I think, in the future, I might try and get my missus to do it, or I don't know. But we need somebody to produce this show, mate. 100%. Because, like, it's just annoying for me having to go back and do all this. Like, for phone calls, when we have call-ins, it'd be so much easier if there was somebody else doing it. But we'll give it a go in a bit. But I've got a pretty big impression that it's going to be a calamity. So,
well, that's it. Well, I mean, I'm less than 20% battery. You know, I'm trying to charge, but it's not great. So let's just get to what everybody's been looking forward to. Should we do that?
Right. Let me play the theme tune. That'll do. Right, off you go, Henry. What is this part of the show called?
Okay, so we've come up with a new name, or I have, and what it is, it's the Hotspur Files, okay? And it's close encounters of the turd kind. That's kind of what... Okay, that's kind of what we're going with for now. And we'll just, you know, I think that sounds about right, doesn't it? Because that's what it is. We're encountering turd kind of encounters. You know, it's got meaning there. You know, that's basically what it's about, isn't it? The Hotspur Files.
I love it, mate. The Hotspur Files, close encounters of the turd kind, right?
There we go. There we go.
Fantastic.
So, I mean, I'm going to bring up a big one tonight. It's a big one. And I bet you, I mean, how many people did you say were tuning in earlier?
There were 70
plus people.
There were 81 a moment ago, and now there's 71. So before you go, guys, please chuck a like on this video.
Okay, well, I bet you, out of the 71 people out there, I expect one of them will agree with this particular ongoing conspiracy. Okay? And I'm going to say it, it's flat Earth. We're going to talk flat Earth.
Oh, do we really? Okay? Do we really have to talk flat Earth?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Okay, I'll tell you right now, this is not something that Henry Hotspur believes in or agrees with. I'm not a flat earther. Okay, I don't believe in flat Earth, but I have got to the stage where I will listen to what the flat earthers have to say.
It's preposterous, though, mate.
Okay. It is preposterous. That's what I believe. Okay, but it's wrong. It's wrong for you, and it's wrong for me to say that I'm not going to listen to you. Okay, and we need to talk about this stuff. We need to talk about this stuff. So why is there no number one fundamental evidence out there that just absolutely crushes any idea of flat Earth? For one, why isn't there?
The curvature of the Earth. That's a bit of an issue.
Okay, which is fundamentally proven by what?
Well, by numerous different ways to prove it. You could just go up high enough that you can see it, or you can also look at a photograph from outer space and see that it is, you know, but not a composite.
So a flat earther will say
an actual photo.
A flat earther would say that those photographs, you know, are doctored or they're
people
not
say
real.
That, yeah.
I mean,
but the fact is, you can look at footage of people who've gone up in, you know, fighter jets up to the edge of the atmosphere, and they can see, you know, you can see the video footage of them going along, and you can see the curve, and you can actually see it, you know, that it is a ball. You know what I mean?
I don't think you can see it's a ball. You can see there's a curvature, but a curvature does not instantly mean that our planet is a globe. Now, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Not for 1 second do I believe that we live on a flat Earth, but I think the flat earthers out there, and I bet you 1 in 71 people that are listening to the show right now, maybe less right now, there's probably one of them thinking, bloody hell, they're talking about flat Earth, and that's what I believe in. And we, you know, I'm fighting that person's battle right now. We need to talk about it because it gets shut down by mainstream media.
Yeah,
that's
but rightfully so, because it's just nonsense. I mean, you can do a test yourself. You can do a test yourself where, you know, well, you take a bit of an issue, but you could set it up somehow with somebody over Skype or something. But if you put a stick in the ground, in Edinburgh, and you put a stick in the ground down on the south coast of England, at the same time of day, and you're in the same orientation to it, the shadows are going to be vastly different because the sun is at a different point relative to the spinning Earth, right? So...
But does that really proof, is it?
Well, it kind of does prove it, because if there was just one sun up in the sky there...
If you research this, or you just try to sound clever if you actually research this stuff?
Well, no, I haven't researched this stuff at all, mate.
Exactly, mate, exactly.
I've just heard this. I mean, I don't even know, But it's true, though.
What I'm saying is, if I was a flat earther right now, I would have listened to what you just said, and I said, well, you're just talking. You're just saying what you've heard, Because everybody believes in the global idea of planets, etc., just takes it for granted.
Do you know what the biggest thing for me, though, Henry? This is the biggest thing for me, right? Which debunks it. All you need to do is go outside at night, or have a look through a telescope at the planets that are in our solar system. Why would ours be any different? You can see they're clearly spherical shapes, unless they're literally discs dead on facing us, which is bullshit. Then why would ours be any different? We've already got 1,000 examples out there in the universe to show that is what planets are. That's how they're made. Do you know what I mean? They have a mass. The gravity basically squeezes it into this shape as it's, I mean, I'm no astrophysicist, but you know what I mean? Like, you can actually see Jupiter.
Sure, but
you can see the moon. You can see...
All I'm saying is a flat earther would just say that you are just spouting the lies that everybody's told you, right? And,
I've never heard any airline pilot come out and say that he thinks the Earth is flat. So it's just complete little skagheads, basically, that say this sort of stuff, mate. Do you know what I mean?
I think you're right. But it's a fascinating concept. Do you know how they see it? They see it as the North Pole. As far as I know, they see the North Pole actually being the center of the flat Earth that we live in. So you've got that kind of cold pole, the North Pole, which is the center. And let's say that maybe there is a very, very slight curvature to the Earth, but the outskirts of the Earth are built up by a wall, which is actually the South Pole. So the ice of the South Pole makes up the wall. And to be fair to the flat earthers, and this is why this theory is still going, and this is why they still believe this stuff, is because, if you believe that, it could still work. It could still bloody work, actually. And the one thing that really bugs me is nobody, and you can research this. I've looked into this a little bit because I got ready for, strange hencounters of the third kind for this Pig of the Head episode this evening. And for example, if you fly from Chile or South America and you go past the South Pole and you come up at Australia, nobody's actually ever done that flight. I actually posed this question to a colleague today, and I said, why has no one ever actually, recorded that flight? And you might be ready to say, oh, that's been done. It hasn't been. Some people say, oh, because it affects the flight because of the magnetism. It's not possible. But it's an interesting one.
Fair play, mate. Sorry, I was just melting there, mate. Look, to be honest with you, Hen, I just find it preposterous. Maybe you're right, though. Maybe the globalist elites have just fed me this whole story about the Earth being round and these photographs that we've seen from outer space of the Earth, the blue marble and all these stuff. They're just made up, fictitious, composites or whatever. But I find it very. Every airline pilot ever, every pilot ever, they'd all have to be in this, in this cult, if you like, of keeping it a secret and all this stuff. It's clearly a freaking round or a spherical Earth, mate. Look at the moon. Who's come out with Mars. Look at Jupiter. Shit. Look at the sun. That's sort of how mass and gravity seems to form itself in the solar system.
I don't disagree with anything you say. I don't want to come out of this show people thinking I'm a flat earther.
Okay, good.
I'm not. Right?
You're just playing devil's advocate. Well, can we have a debate about something that is actually got some interest?
What's made me want to talk about it tonight? A sporting person has come out and supported Flat Earth today. as have a couple of others previously. Right, Carl Froch. Love Carl Froch. Do you love Carl Froch?
No.
Great boxer, yeah?
No.
I don't like him.
I like him as a boxer. He's a great boxer, but he's just a bit of a tit, isn't he? I wouldn't, and possibly,
he's a bit of a tit, okay.
You know, you're talking about somebody who literally got punched in the head for a living, mate. Is he the best person to be talking about the shape of the earth?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, but he's come out and said that he believes in flat Earth. Okay, Eddie Bravo is someone that likes the idea of flat Earth. Why? Why does he? He's not stupid.
He doesn't think the Earth's flat though. He just likes the banter, the conspiracy. He doesn't actually truly believe that. I don't think. Do you know what I mean? And anyway,
he's
like,
kind of
that's
like
not a very good example.
He is kind of
you're not choosing good people. So you're basing that the Earth is potentially flat because Carl Froch and Eddie Bravo believe that it may be. I mean, that's terrible. You're talking about somebody who got twatted in the face for a living, and somebody that just is a jiu-jitsu guy who's like your typical stoner dude in California. Those are not the two best dudes to be freaking fighting the corner,
mate. I'm just talking, mate. I wasn't saying I've got the two best examples of people that are behind this. I'm just talking. I didn't say I believed it. You know?
Fair play.
You're trying to cause a problem out of nothing again, Pig.
Are you done with the flat Earth?
So basically, you think there's no chance?
I just use my eyes, mate. You can get a telescope. You can look at Jupiter. You can look at Mars. You can look at Venus. You can look at all of these worlds, all of these planets.
Pigs in on it.
And you can actually see that they're spherical, round objects. And unless they're a disc facing, it's just bullshit, mate. One thing I did want to bring up, Henry, just while we're at it, did you see this week the what was her name? The climate girl, Greta Thunberg, right? The Swedish girl.
Yes.
The 16-year-old who did this speech at the climate. Now, I want to put a little conspiracy theory to you, Henry. And this is my own theory, okay? Greta Thunberg is a cyborg. Okay, and she's been put in that position of power by the Clintons in order to create this opposition to Trump and all this sort of stuff. I'm proposing she's an actual cyborg. If you look at the way she speaks, if you look at the way she moves her head, you know, there's some sort of
she comes across
robotronics going on there.
Is what you're saying.
What were you talking about, Henry? Humans turning into cyborgs and mating with artificial intelligence and technology.
Okay.
I think it's already happened. There's stuff going on we don't know about. There's people behind the scenes. They've been working on this Greta T1000 for a while. Okay? And now she is here.
Wow. Okay, so, I mean, what has she actually come out and said?
Look, to be fair to her, man, I fully agree with what she said. She was basically at the United Nations meeting, I think, and she gave a speech on climate change. And she's pretty much saying that, how dare you, leaders of the world, even talk to us, young people, about climate change with the destruction that you've done to the planet over the years and nobody caring and nobody doing anything about it. It's a disgrace. We're the nation, we're the generation that's going to have to deal with your errors and your mistakes. It's a disgrace, basically. She's making 100% great points, to be fair. Climate change, you know, global, all that sort of stuff. That's another massive topic that conspiracy theorists likes to throw around. Is it genuine? Is it not genuine? I mean, you know, I don't really know. I mean, I can't think it's a good thing for the planet to be putting all this greenhouse gas and all this toxicity into the environment. So, fair play to her, I say.
I feel
fair
almost
play to that
uncomfortable
cyborg.
to comment on this because people will probably never listen to the head again. And, you know, I hope that you would judge me on that. I mean, I don't know for sure what global warming's about. And to be honest, none of us do. No one... listening to the Pick of the Head show really knows what's going on, even if you're one of the top scientists. Well, do you really know what's going on?
But this is the conspiracy, though, Henry. The globalist elite are pushing this girl upon us.
They are. Do you know why they would be? It's because they're pushing global warming as a mass issue for the world so that everybody gets behind the idea that we need to deal with climate change. And then that then gives power to the globalist elite because they're behind that agenda. Okay, that is what any fully pledged conspiracy theorist would believe. Okay, I'm not saying I'm down that rabbit hole. I'm not. Okay, but I do listen to facts and I researched facts. Did you know one fact? Okay, there's two facts. One fact is what do plants feed on? What do plants need to thrive?
Carbon dioxide.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it bloody is. So we're always going on about CO2 levels going up. It's terrible. Do you know what happens? CO2 levels go up. We get more plants. We get more vegetation. We get more trees.
Not if we're deforesting
them down. Listen. I just said that. As long as we're not cutting them down, okay, we get more trees, which then produces more what?
Oxygen. But we're not doing that, Henry.
Exactly. But listen. For deforestation. I'm not talking about deforestation. I'm talking about people saying that CO2 levels are too high. Actually, if that increases the growth of green on our planet,
it's not just CO2 though, Henry.
And we're not deforesting the planet, okay? And you look at the Sahara. Did you know the Sahara has actually got more green going on than it did 100 years ago?
Okay, but it's not just CO2 that counts as greenhouse gases, though.
Listen. This is true. I've looked into this. The world has got more trees and more green going on than it did 100 years ago. But the globalists wouldn't let you know that because they're pushing the agenda of CO2 levels are too high.
Where are you getting this from? Because the last I heard,
it's true.
The deforestation of the planet is being absolutely ravaging the rainforests for the last 20 years. So where is that? Sure. Where is that based on? Are you basing this on?
But you're getting green areas in other places where you weren't getting it 100 years ago. Mm. You are. Do the research. Don't just believe the mainstream media. Dig in. That's what I keep saying.
I mean, personally, I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, I also just think, look, it's not maybe this globalist elite government or whatever trying to unite the world so we can get a new world order and have one centralized government and all that. I think maybe it's actually just an issue for the world. We all live in this world where we're damaging the world. Wouldn't it make sense for every single nation on earth to come together and actually fight for the same cause and try and fix it? I don't think that's a conspiracy to say that should happen. It just would take a global effort in order to achieve, because there's no point if every country in the world makes the changes and uses renewables and gets rid of fossil fuels and all this stuff, if China's still pumping out all this stuff, or if whatever country. So
I don't disagree with you for a second, but the shame is that the people that are actually running the world is not the Pig in the Hen show. Mm. That's the problem.
Fair play, mate. Fair play. But yeah,
can we get some phone? Let's get some call-ins.
What do you think, Cyborg?
Let's try it. Let's do it.
Cyborg.
Well, I mean, the fact that the interesting thing is, though, Pig, is you've said that she is a cyborg. I haven't actually had a chance to look into this properly, but you're saying she's a cyborg. She's obviously touting the globalist purpose, and you're saying that she comes across as a cyborg. Now, that scares me. That scares me, mate. And you're saying that just off the cuff.
Oh, I'm just joking around, aren't I? But there's something about that voice, something about the movements, even the crying. Like it's like they've just got water ducts in there, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Bioengineered, mate. Bioengineered cyborg. You're probably spot on, mate. I've got to look into this now.
Right, guys. Okay, so listen, we're going to get on and do a few call-ins now until Henry's battery goes. How are you doing, Henry, battery-wise?
I don't even dare to look. Let's just get a call in. Let's not waste the time.
Right,
Come on.
So if somebody wants to call into Skype, please give us a call. The email address or the Skype name is thepigandthehen@hotmail.com. Okay, that's the pig and the hen all spelled out. Show at hotmail.com.
I say the main question of the night is, why is Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur seasons not quite working out at the moment? That is the overriding question of the show this evening. However, please call in and talk about whatever you want. But I think that's the general topic.
Fair play. So call the pig and the hen show at hotmail.com on Skype. And hopefully we'll get a call in soon. But listen, I'm no producer here. We all know what happened when we got the Rinconator on here once before. It was an absolute echo fest. So look, You're going to have to forgive me. That's it. Yes. Thank you, Rincon. He's just put the Skype in there. Come on, Rincon. Call in, buddy, and give Henry a dressing down here. That's what I want to see. The Rincon and the Hen face to face. But there's also an equal chance that you won't be able to hear him anyway. But hopefully it does work.
I hope so. I mean, but surely why is the phone not ringing right now? This is the Pig in the Head show.
Well, people have got to go into their Skype apps. They've got to put the email address in.
This is not the biggest show in the world, you know? This is the number one show in the world. I mean, why else would I do it?
We just approached the 90-minute mark on the show, guys. So thanks for everybody who stuck it out. And there's actually a few more people staying in here for the conspiracy stuff than usual as well. So that's quite impressive of you guys. Thank you very much for getting in here and showing the support on the channel today.
I mean, was there any comments coming in on Flat Earth? Was there anyone that was behind Flat Earth?
No, I don't think there was anybody behind it, mate. I could be wrong.
There might be religious people that kind of like there is biblical stuff that is behind Flat Earth. I know that was back in the day, and I'm telling you right now, I am not a flat earther, but I think it's unfair for the flat earthers out there to be instantly belittled. I think have a proper chat with these people. Don't just belittle these people. No one should be belittled. Talk to people. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, absolutely, mate. Michael Fletcher comments, Pig, you realise there would be a lot of views for you and Henry if you started a current affairs channel.
Yeah, but the thing is, we can't even keep up with current affairs, mate. You know what I mean? If you feed us with them, then maybe we'll work something out. How much do you want?
I mean, yeah, we've got our opinions on stuff generally. I mean, we could react to things and chat about things, but I don't know. Obviously, my main interest is football. I don't even like talking about politics and conspiracy theories and shit like that. So, but, you know, I do like talking about current events in some ways, depending on what's going on.
So boring. Boris Johnson has just been basically found guilty in court of proroguing Parliament illegally. You probably don't even know what that means, Pig.
I'm ashamed to say that I haven't been following it at all. I know that some ruling was made that he had some sort of a... What was it? I don't even know what happened, mate. Some sort of royal assent.
So what's happened? What happened is it's a normal thing that the Parliament gets prorogued before a Queen's speech, which means that Parliament is basically dismissed for a week or so, or a couple of weeks, or whatever it is. Okay?
Yeah.
But obviously Parliament took it to the court, saying that they believed that the government are using this to try to push through a no deal rather than just using it in the normal way. And the court has ruled that yes, they believe that the government has used this normal proroguing as they've used it in a wrong way, basically, and they've been fucking overruled. So the Parliament is
sorry, Hen, just to cut in there, mate.
They convening today.
Sorry, Henry, I'll let you get back on this in a moment. I realised I had a mare. Alex Rincon, it's actually Pig and the Hen Show podcast at hotmail.com, not the Pig and the Hen Show podcast. No, sorry. Oh, wait, let me just read it out. Okay, wait.
Seriously, Pig, come on.
It's Pig and the Hen Show at hotmail.com. Pig and the Hen Show at hotmail.com. That's what it is, okay?
Please call in. Stop us talking about politics. But yeah, so basically, Parliament is running the scene in our country. They're convening today, what's the day today? Wednesday. Yes, they've reconvened today. Boris Johnson is under massive pressure to basically step down. You know, so people are calling for his resignation. So who knows what's going to happen? I mean, do we still want no deal? We voted to leave the EU. What Parliament are trying to say is they refuse for the country to leave the European Union without a deal. What Boris Johnson was trying to do was basically say, well, we get a deal, but if we don't, we're going to leave. That's where we're at. Boris Johnson has been pissed on. He might have played things wrongly, but what we're looking at right now is a complete stalemate, a complete zombie Parliament. That's what's happening. And for someone that doesn't follow politics like yourself, it's probably difficult to understand because I struggle to follow it as someone that's actually quite into it.
Also, I don't know, I saw something yesterday about, I don't know much about politics, but somebody in America talking about Trump's potential impeachment. What's that about, Hen? Hang on, we've got a call coming in, mate. 2 secs.
Nice,
see if we can get this on the
go. This is the first one. This is special.
Hello, you are live on the Pig and the Hen show.
What's up, guys?
How's it going? Me? Can you hear him, Henry?
I can hear you, Alex Rincon. I can.
Oh, fantastic. Can the viewers hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Great. Alex, what you need to do is you need to hang up so we can actually get someone that I want to talk to. Ring in now. Now that we tested it out and we know it works, you could go now.
I just honestly wanted to call to make sure it works. It definitely does.
Fantastic. And hopefully people can hear Alex Rincon in the live chat. Let me know if you can. Alex, thanks for phoning in, mate. What's on your mind then, buddy?
Nothing, man. I'm just stoned as fuck listening to you guys.
All right, awesome, on to the next caller.
No, honestly, I want to talk about this real quick, Pig.
Yeah.
I know, we're talking about politics and bullshit, but let's go back to United for a second. So everyone's talking about how, we need to back Ole in January. We need to turn it around in January. But honestly, who is there to sign in January? That was why the last show you had, I pointed out in the chat, I said, well, we could try to maybe buy Christian Eriksen, but why would he leave us? We're not even in Champions League, and he could be in the middle of competing for that. So realistically, in January, we don't really have anyone that we could sign. So we're going to have to wait till next summer.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point. I mean, United have made some January signings, but historically it's difficult to get players away from clubs in January. You either have to pay a big premium for it, or it just generally doesn't happen. So players like people talking about Maddison and Sancho and guys like that.
Maddison
is Leicester going to want to get rid of James Maddison at that time of the year with a push for Champions League places? And they're not. They're just not going to get. Even if you offered them 100 million, I'm not sure if they'll take it. They'd rather just wait a little while, get 6 months out of him, and then sell him for near enough the same amount of money in the summer. So I hear you, Alex. It will be difficult now. We should have done a lot more in the summer. Christian Eriksen's not a bad shout. His contract is ending at the end of the season. Is that true?
Yeah. His contract is gone at the end of the season. That is why Daniel Levy wanted him off the books. He was hoping that we were going to get several million for the player, who is a great player. He's still at a decent enough sort of age, and that's how Daniel Levy operates. He wanted to. There was reports out there that Levy was infuriated that we did not offload Eriksen. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Christian Eriksen going forward, for sure. So
Hin, I have a question for you. Somebody pointed this out a few weeks ago in the chat. I think it was Griffo Chaz. He mentioned that the last 3 seasons, Spurs have actually regressed in terms of how many points they've accumulated each season. Sure. Meaning, for example, I don't know the specific numbers, but say Spurs finished a season with 83 points, and then the season after that they finished with 80.
Yeah.
And the season after they finished with maybe 76. So what's your comment on that? Because he was kind of making the point that maybe Pochettino and Spurs have peaked.
It's a good point. I completely hear what you're saying, Alex Rincon. I mean, when we talk about regression, I think Manchester United maybe have regressed too. But I just put it out.
Fair.
But as far as regression goes, it's a difficult one. You can't just look at a single team. You've got to look at how other teams in the Premier League have been getting on. I think you have seen improvements in other teams, such as obviously Liverpool are right up there, a top team right now, where they certainly weren't 3 or 4 years ago. You've got to look at the other teams there. The fact is, yes, we may not have finished on as good points as we did a couple of seasons ago, but we did make the Champions League final last season. We've still got a solid squad. I think we've got more strength and depth now. it's probably not the best time to talk about it because we have not had the best start to the season. But, this we need to have this conversation again, Alex. Maybe halfway through the season to see how we're getting on.
What's a realistic expectation for Spurs fans? Like, what do you want? I mean, do you want a trophy? Do you want top four? Like, what do you want?
Top four. It has to be
no trophy.
It has
to. Typical Spurs fans. They don't care about trophies at Tottenham, do they?
For me, Alex, no, I love this because it's so great to talk to someone else that isn't just the pig. I'm sick of the pig. I'm sick of the pig. So just to talk to an actual person out there that's not the pig, and I'm telling that person that's not the pig right now, we need top four season after season because we've been there. We've proved that we are a top four side. That is modern day football. Whether you like it or not, I know that the heroism and the beauty and the machoism of winning a trophy, it means a lot to fans and it means a lot to me. But as a modern day football fan that understands the modern game, we need to be making top four season upon season. For me, that may not be success, but it is what I expect from my team season upon season to make sure that we continue to grow as a side. That is more important to me than winning trophies. Trophies will come as long as we continue to be a top side. Doesn't matter when we win them. Doesn't matter how many years it takes. What matters is we're up there and we're fighting for them. Simple as that. You're in it to win it.
Okay, so I agree with you. I totally agree. And I think that's kind of partially why I wanted to call into the show, to kind of back up Pig a bit and make the point that, like, the patience that you guys are showing Pochettino and Spurs and trusting the process and rebuilding, Champions League, and eventually trophies will come. That's kind of where we as fans are at right now and why we're willing to say, fuck it, let's give Ole a chance. And make the right signings. We've made 3 really good signings. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is arguably the best young right back in all of Europe. Daniel James, amazing player.
Sure.
Maguire, top 5 center back for me in the league. So they're good signings. We just need to continue to make the good signings. I can see what Ole's trying to do. We just don't have the players to do it. We're not good enough. That's the bottom line.
I have to ask you, Alex Rincon, if you finish 8th at the end of the season, does that work with you as long as everything else seems hunky-dory, or do you disagree with the Pig there?
So I kind of agree with Pig in the sense that it's not a simple answer. It's a long-winded answer. It would depend on a lot of factors. How are we doing? Say we finish 8th, but we win the Europa League. I'm okay with that. We just got back into the Champions League. Now that puts us in an opportunity to now go out in the summer and sign James Maddison, sign Jadon Sancho, maybe sign another fullback or another central mid. That puts us in a really good position. So I agree that it's not really a yes or no answer. Like, we could easily finish 8th but win the Europa League, for example.
Yeah, but I mean, if you won the Europa League, that's a bit different. I'm saying if you absolutely melt in that competition, you finish 8th, nothing's going on for you.
So we're out of everything.
That's what I'm trying to say.
So we're out of everything, and then we just finish 8th. Yeah. You're asking, should he go?
Nothing's really happening.
It still depends.
Yeah, but even then,
a couple of players saying,
even then, it depends on how
rubbish,
we're looking. Is he giving the young lads a chance? Has he made signings in January? If we don't get reinforcements in January, I don't think Ole Gunnar's going to be expected to finish much higher than what?
Then it goes back to my first question: who are we going to sign in January? There's nobody really available.
Yeah, so you're in the same camp as the Pig, in regards to you really don't expect too much from United. I mean, as long as you finish top 10 and things are looking okay, then that's okay.
You're missing the point, Henry. It's not about the position. It's not even about the position at all.
Not missing the point at all. Come on, that's basically what you're saying there.
All right, hold on.
But listen, Henry, like, I love the passion, but the fact of the matter is they're just not, Spurs, United, they're not comparable at the moment. Tottenham have had 3 years or 4 years or however long with Poch. He's got this great young squad. He's got the great young players. They should be progressing. Champions League final, top 4 finish, that's progressing. But if you get to the stage this season where you're struggling to get into the top 4 and you haven't got any silverware, what sort of a season's that for Spurs? It's a calamity. Worse than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer finishing 7th, say, with United in a rebuild season when he's not even had much true investment. Are you still there, Hen?
Okay.
Oh.
Pochettino's season at Spurs. 6th, 5th, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, 4th.
Ooh. So he's been dropping down the last couple of seasons then.
First 2 seasons, he was fucking shit. That's a Spurs fan. And I remember back in 2014, 2015, he was like, man, we might have to get rid of Pochettino. So you got to trust the process. If Ole finishes around there, but we're making the right signings, we're playing the right way, in my opinion, I think I can see what Ole is trying to do. We're trying to play a high pressing game, high tempo, fast counter-attacking, very direct football. When I was young and I used to watch United, so I can understand what Ole's trying to do. But we got to give him the time and the signings, and we've only given him 3 signings, and we've allowed 7 players to go. That's not enough. But all 3 of our signings, in my opinion, have been great. Wan-Bissaka's been mint. Maguire's been mint, and Daniel James has been great. He's scored as many goals as Rashford this season. So
yeah, I mean, Dan James. I know, he's significantly more, yeah. And we got him for 15 million. He's looking like an absolute masterstroke for a bit of business. Yeah, like you say, Wan-Bissaka, I mean, I don't think there's a club around Europe at the moment that would not want to have a 21-year-old Wan-Bissaka based on just this season alone. Forget last year where he was great for Palace. Just this season, from what we've seen from him in a United shirt, he's been outstanding. He looks like he's only going to get better and probably will be one of the best defenders in the world for the next decade. So amazing signing that. Harry Maguire, we've not seen the best from Maguire yet, to be fair, but we know that he is a great player. Those are great signings, so I agree with you, Rincon. There's no problem with the quality of the signings, it's just the amount of signings. And if you are going to let players like Sanchez and Lukaku go, you've got to get some reinforcements. We're seeing why that's so important now, where we take a couple of injuries to the likes of Martial and Rashford, and all of a sudden we've got a 17-year-old to call on, which I think he's got the skill, but it's a lot to ask from such a young lad to be our main goal scorer right now, just because we didn't have the forethinking to plan for this season campaign properly. It's a disgrace, really, the situation we're in. That's why I give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer some slack, and I say, look, he's not going to be able to do it overnight. He's going to need a couple of transfer windows. He's going to need a lot of money to spend, because that's how far away our squad is. We have got the worst squad in Premier League Manchester United history that I can remember. What do you think about that? I mean, do you think this is the worst United side we've had in terms of squad depth and just the quality in the squad throughout the entire Premier League era? Because I think it is.
Like TV rights over here, we got to watch an occasional game or 2. So I really started watching United around 2000, 2001 season. So like the year right after United had won the treble. So all I've known in my life is quality.
Yeah.
And so the worst team I've seen in my lifetime, this is probably the worst team.
It's got to be, because even if you look at like the season David Moyes was in charge, obviously the team was awful, but the actual players we had in the team were better than what we've got now, weren't they? Like there was a few, we had a few, I'm struggling to think of any now, but
we had Rooney, we had
RP, that's it, yeah.
We had Evra.
Think of those strikers compared to the quality we've got now. It's crazy, yeah.
Who else? We had Giggs, we had
Darren Fletcher still here.
Johnny Evans.
Yeah.
We had a lot of players. I mean, they were older. That's partially why I think Moyes failed. Is he trusted a lot in.
And I think that was the time we lost Vidic and Ferdinand at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't manage them guys, did he? So Sir Alex left, and that is when Vidic and Ferdinand also left. Is that right? I've got a memory like a sieve, but either way, there was we still had good players around the squad. That's what I'm saying. Like we won the league with that squad the season before, so it couldn't have been that bad. I know maybe we did lose a couple of players that summer. But yeah, I mean, this squad at United, it's absolutely gashtastic, Alex. What can we say? We're about 5 players away, 4 or 5 players away, first team players as well. Not just squad players to add a little bit of depth in certain areas, but actual first team players to come in there and take over from some of the gash. That's how many players we are away.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say we're probably a central midfielder, a creative one. We need another creative central midfielder to pair with Pogba because we're relying on him to create everything. As you saw on Sunday against West Ham, we were fucking dog shit. We made Mark Noble look good.
Oh, Mark Noble bossed it, didn't he? Yeah.
He made us look like fucking dog shit.
It's a sad day when Mark Noble's bossing your midfield.
That kind of goes back to the point that we were just talking about Ole. That's why I don't think it's really fair to judge Ole because the players aren't good enough. They're just not.
Yeah, I agree. Just a super chat here from Jack Melville. I'm not going to read that out, Jack. He's calling you a snowflake, Alex. But listen, you're entitled to your opinion there, Jack. Rincon's a personal legend of the channel here. It's actually Hen's gone, so I don't know if you realise, but Hen's gone. So this is now the Pig and the Rincon show. If you guys want to call in for the I'm just going to stick around until about 5 o'clock or whatever, so 7 more minutes if you're up for that, Rincon. Anybody who wants to call in, all you've got to do is go on Skype. You don't have to add it or anything. In fact, don't do that. Just call and put the email address in pigandthehenshow@hotmail.com and call in, and I'll add you to this to this chat so we can just discuss whatever topic you want to call in about. Alex Rudd, I can see you in here. Maybe you want to get involved. Thomas Jarman, any of the other guys. But yeah, I mean, it's funny though, isn't it, Rico? We saw how Henry was a couple of weeks ago, so combative. He needed bringing down to earth, really, didn't he? Are you gone? Oh. Yeah.
It goes back to what I was saying earlier. Pochettino, his first seasons at Tottenham Hotspur, he finished 6th, 5th, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. So you got to give him time. You got to give him time to get rid of the players he wants to get rid of and sign the players that he wants. Now, I do not think Ole only wanted 3 players.
Oh, definitely not, no.
I think he definitely wanted Bruno Fernandes. I think all the reports that were coming out, although they're rumors, I definitely think it was too buzzy to not be somewhat true, I think. An element of truth. Either we were interested or maybe we contacted them, but there was definitely something there. I definitely don't think that Ole only wanted 3 players.
There's no way he could have done it. He knows, obviously, what sort of a squad we've got. He knows that in certain areas we are lacking. He wouldn't have been happy with the amount of cover we got as striker, for instance, and we didn't address that. We could have just got a backup striker, and they don't have to be the best player in the world, but just somebody to give you an option there, because in a game where, like, Rashford gets injured and the other guys are injured too, then you bring in Lingard on, and that's you shouldn't be in that situation as a football club like United. We should have the depth in those areas, and certainly the midfield is an embarrassment. Spurs have got an embarrassment of riches in their midfield, but we've just got an embarrassment. Like, we've got Matic, McTominay, Fred, Pogba, but Pogba's a great player on paper, but does he turn up most of the time? No, is the answer to that. So he's as useless as Matic then, isn't he? I mean, he's not. He's much better player than Matic, but in terms of what he actually gives us in that midfield, I know you like him, Alex, but personally I think it's just too hit and miss. We don't have the depth there. There should be more challenge for a space in this side. You shouldn't just be in there because you're Matic or because you're Pogba,
So real quick, I've seen that people are saying they can't hear me. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you absolutely fine, mate, so...
Okay. I just adjusted my microphone volume. Maybe people can hear me.
Oh, Gangshi said you're very quiet. We've got some teething problems here, but that's just the way. I'm just happy that people can't hear you at all, mate, after the last calamity we had to go at. That was shocking, but you're the first ever caller in on the Pig and the Hen show, Alex Rincon, so thank you very much for doing that. It doesn't seem like anybody else is going to call in today. So there you go, but oh, hang on, we've got somebody here. Who's this? Lisa Riley. Lisa Riley, we've got a lady who possibly wants to... Lisa Riley, please call in. So she's tried to add me, but what we actually want is for you to call in just at the same email address. Just call it, and we'll have a chat with you at the end here. Sure, buddy, sure. It could just be some settings I've got on the go as well, to be fair. Because I don't really know what I'm doing. Sure, mate, sure. So, yeah, I'll just take this moment for everybody who is tuning in right now. Do us a favour, smash a cheeky little like on this video. Subscribe. We'll be wrapping this video up very, very soon indeed. Unfortunately, the hen is not... I mean, I could try... Let me try phoning the hen again and see what happens if we can get him back in here. Let's have a look. Oops. Okay, so I'm trying to get Henry back in, but chances are his phone's dead and he's not actually going to be able to speak anyway. So there you go. How's your microphone, Alex? Can't hear him now either. Oh, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Cool. Is that better?
I mean, I don't really know. I'm not the best person to ask. EK though comments. Sorry, buddy. Yeah. Absolutely, we'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it sometime when we can, very, very soon. So I just want to get you on the show anyway, like maybe on Friday. I've got some time on Friday. Be nice to do something for them, possibly. I'll just read a few comments out, guys, and then we'll wrap the show up. But EK comments, Sancho and Maddison must be a priority. I think they're a couple of great players too for United right now. Just young, and they look like the type of players that can have an instant impact as well. That's the most important thing. It's not just a one for the future. I mean, Sancho's only 19, but he's already ripping up the Bundesliga. Maddison's, 22, is he, I think? And already a great leader for Leicester. Homegrown talents, it's a no-brainer for me. You're going to have to pay a lot of money for them, but we'd have to pay... who else are we going to go out there and get? It's not like we can compete with these Champions League level footballers right now. We need to go for the players that are playing at different standard of club, like a Leicester City, for instance. Like Maguire came to us stepping up, but I think we'll have to pay close to 200 million for both of those guys, do you think?
So yeah, I definitely agree. I think we need to do everything possible to try and get James Maddison and Sancho in the summer. Sancho probably costs at least 100. And then Maddison, I can't see him going for anything less than what we paid for Harry Maguire. So at least 80. So right there, you're talking 200 million.
Yeah.
Are the Glazers prepared to spend that?
And that's realistically at the end of the season as well.
Spent 150. So we'll see. But we've also sold a lot. We've gotten a lot off the wage bill. I imagine Alexis will probably join Inter permanently at the end of the season from loan.
I hope so. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're not too far off on that, but I think your point that you called in about, Alex, is is totally true. Like, January's probably not the time we're going to be able to acquire these players. We might, but if Leicester are further up the table than us, they're going to want to keep hold of somebody like James Maddison at all costs.
They're not going to let James Maddison go because they're going to tell him, no, we're trying to fight for Champions League.
Yeah.
At the end of the season, if you really want to go. Sancho, same thing.
Yeah, and if those teams are in those positions at that time, like if January comes around and they're higher than us. Sorry, buddy?
Well, I don't understand why we don't try something like Chelsea, where they bought Christian Pulisic from Dortmund and then just loaned him back to Dortmund for the rest of the season. Why can't we do something like that?
Oh, I 100% agree, mate. Like, we haven't run the club very well in terms of bringing younger players on, I don't think, over the last few seasons. We haven't developed the youth particularly well at all. It would be nice to, invest in some of the youth like that, and then, like you say, you could sign Sancho in January, say, and then is it the worst case scenario that he stays there until the end of the season, but, you effectively loan him back there, but you've got a great player coming at the end of that could work also. There is an option like that, so I see what you're saying. That's quite that's quite an interesting idea you got there, Alex. Maybe we should do that, but it doesn't help us for the January, for the rest of the season, unfortunately, doing stuff like that. But we've got, I can see a bunch of people saying they can't quite hear you, Alex. So, I think we'll wrap this one up, as you can see. But it's not your fault. I just think when Henry left, it's messed up the settings or something, because it was using his settings, if you know what I mean. Because I added him to the group call. So I don't know what's gone on there, mate. But thank you so much for getting in there. Hopefully you were, if when we listen back to it, we can hear what you were saying. But really appreciate you phoning in, Alex Rincon, on being the first ever caller in for this show. And not to mention that, Alex, but just a general legend of the show. Somebody that is always committed to the show. Obviously, you moderate the chat. Much appreciated for all that, all the positivity, all the ribbon of the hen as well. It's all much appreciated. I love it when you put a dig in on Henry Hotspur. So keep doing that. Keep up the great work. And it's been a pleasure, as always, talking to you, my friend.
Thanks, man. I just really love the show, and I love supporting it. And I would encourage everyone else to, because this is honestly one of the funniest podcasts ever. And I listen to a lot of podcasts at work and stuff.
Oh, well, thank you, Rincon. It's definitely random. It's definitely a random show. You don't know what you're going to get. You could get, Henry's missus bending over. You could get, a complete argument. You just don't know what's going to happen on the Pig in the Head show. So I fully agree there. Thank you very much, Rincon, for all the support over the years. And we'll get you on the show very, very soon, or just on the channel anyway. I'd like to do a video with you anyway, Rincon. So thank you very much. You're a legend. Thanks to everybody that tunes into this show as well. Appreciate everyone who takes the time to watch it. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I can see there's a couple of people here saying, Thomas Jarman just said, I've ran out of time to ring in. Apologies, Thomas. Next week I'll display it on the screen as well. We'll get the teething problems out of the way, and we'll take Skype calls for a lot longer. I mean, one thing I will say, Rincon, is Henry needs to step his game up, mate. He's coming out here with the battery not fully charged in his phone, connection issues. I mean, he doesn't make it easy for us, does he?
No, he doesn't. But he's also calling in from China.
True.
So I think it's honestly impressive that he's able to do that to begin with.
It is good commitment from him. Yeah, in that sense.
It's excused to an extent.
To an extent, but for next time, he's just got to make sure his phone's charged.
Get a good mic. Go on fucking Amazon or whatever Chinese Amazon is. What is it, Alibaba?
Something like that, yeah. Is that India? I don't know.
Buy a shitty mic, plug it in, learn how to use it, and cam up.
I know, that's it. Just man the hell up, Henry. It's like his missus didn't seem to have that much of a problem doing it in his apartment either, for lighting and wind noise and all that. Just man up, mate. Anyway, no, if you listen to this back, Henry, we love you anyway. Thank you very much for getting in here, everyone. Gungshi says, I'll have to get Skype set up. Absolutely, lads and lasses. Anybody that wants to phone in next week, this was just a tester this week. Hopefully you can hear Rincon okay. We wanted to just see if I could even manage it myself, basically. So thank you to everybody that tried to call it. There's actually nobody else that tried to call in. So massively disappointed with that. But a few people sent a couple of messages. So I think they were trying to connect with us. But we'll figure it out for next week. So once again, thank you to Rincon. Thanks to Henry Hotspur. Thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in. Have yourselves a bloody good one. We'll see you soon later on for the Rochdale Watch Along. I'll be doing that round about the start of kickoff, as per usual. Like I say, the game's not televised. I'll try and find a dodgy stream. It may be a shit show, but that's the way it is. Thanks for everyone watching. And you want to say goodbye, Rincon?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, and come on United.
Come on, United. We'll see you soon. Take it easy. Peace.